second years, isn't it? Huh? Only final? Message in your group. Right, okay. What about life sciences? Do we have anybody from life sciences here? You can just maybe put a message in your group that others may come. Right, okay. And before we actually start, I would like to give you an overview of what's going to happen. Not like a lengthy session. It could become lengthy only if you want it. Right, I know you don't want it. From SMP Global, I think all the BCom students might be knowing these people are into business 70 employees per. So that's a good point for you. And most importantly, he is one of the alumnus of this college. So it's very interesting that he was a BCom student way back in Giriraj College. So that means we can take heart. It's not going to be that hard for any of us to really get into the top echelons of the IT test. The second person, actually it was an accidental thing. I came to know that she is in Hyderabad. We made a call and she was very happy to come over to Nizamabad, and she is with her family here, but she will be with us for a half an hour time. And she will be talking about a lot of new technologies that have come, not just in IT but also in business, like fintech, biztech, and even life sciences, medical care technologies. What are the different job roles that you have, and what should we really equip ourselves in order to reach them? You can also ask them questions. Okay, from there, what sort of questions they ask in the recruitment process, and how do they assess feedback? Right? So that will be like a first-hand experience for others. And let me also tell that we are having, because we are soon going to have a GenPact drive on 1st of March. So for that, BCom, BSc, BA, everyone 5 years are eligible for that GenPact drive. So even I asked him to focus more on the GenPact style of and presentation. So he said, okay, right? So first 30 minutes, a session on interviewing skills and emerging technologies to be aware of. Second, basic medical technologies, different job roles and career paths. And finally, we will have more people. We look at the time, and then finally they will give feedback, and then vote up the time. And if only two rows in the front open so that teachers may see. Otherwise. Okay, that's enough of the skills that we are going to have today. And on behalf of Telangana Skills and Knowledge Center, DG College, Nizamabad, as well as the Department of English, and also the Alumni Association of our college, I welcome all of you to this small gathering where you are going to learn a lot of things about the interviews. Okay? Those girls, there are a lot of seats here, you can sit here. Right. So to start, I would like to invite our college principal, Dr. P. Ramohan Reddy sir, onto the stage. We have two resource persons for this event today, and I request Dr. Dandu Swami sir to offer a bouquet as token of students at I would like to tell you a brief sketch of what's going to happen. We are going to have 3 sessions. Okay. The first one will be a description of effective, acing an HR or a technical round in an interview, and also a glimpse into what are the major technologies that a fresher like you should be aware of when facing an interview, right? So that will be taken up by Mr. Vikas Paul. And secondly, then we will have a short session on the different types of career paths in technologies that are coming up, especially with focus on financial technology, business technologies, and other sort of things. So that will be taken up by our second resource person, Mrs. Anders Moldova. And finally, we will have two or, if time permits, we will have 2 or 3 mock interviews, and that will be taken up by the first resource person, Mr. Vikas Paul, and he will also be giving us a feedback about where we need to upskill or strengthen ourselves. Okay, so that delay, I would request the resource person to take up the first session. So, sir, I request if it's possible. In driving, managing application, product support system, streams, global service, desk operations, critical incident management, project management, ITIL, and governance. He carries a vast experience across leading projects and capacities working along with global clients. He carries extensive experience in hiring, identifying the top talent, train and create next level of leaders. And very interestingly, Mr. Vikas Paul graduated from our own Viras Government Degree College with a bachelor's in commerce. And later on, he pursued masters in computer applications from Osmania University, and then he went on to join many IT firms like Wipro, Accenture, and Facebook and all sorts. And now presently he is with S&P Global. So I now hand over the session to Mr. Paul.
Firstly, I would like to thank the session. It's an honor, right? You study in the same college and you come back. So I heard from the start that we started off with alumni association in Viras College. So it's great to hear that, right? And you should have this, right? People studying from this college and then you excel and then you come back, you witness what you did, right? And how you succeeded in your life. So it's great, good to see all of you. A lot of things have changed in the college. I was looking at the road and then I was coming by. I did my graduation back in 2000, yeah. And then it was bachelor's in commerce, by the way. Okay, so we did not have computer science during the time. 98, I believe it was. We had this bachelor's in computer applications, but by then I finished my first year of graduation. Okay, so. Then later on, after I finished my BCom, then I pursued my Masters in Computer Applications in Hyderabad under Osmania University. Hope you can hear me, guys. Can you hear me? Okay? Yeah, great. Alright, so yeah, I think it's been a great journey from the time when I did my post-graduation and then I started working in Wipro. Wipro Technologies is my first company back in Mumbai. I started off my career in Bombay and then my journey began from there, and then I worked in Bangalore, and then Chennai, and then a little more in India. And then I've been transitioned over to abroad and worked in the US for some time, in the UK, Singapore, Germany, and then a few parts of Europe as well. So the transition was not that easy, right? However, I was privileged to have that opportunities coming through my way. So what I will do is I have consolidated some of the key things which would help you when you're out of your college. Some of the key elements which we always miss, right? We are confused when we go out of the college. We don't know what to do. We know what to do, but there are a lot of options these days, right? So there's so many things where we get into that zone where we don't know what to choose, right? And how do I move forward? How do I really excel in technology? Or how do I excel in some of the subjects, some of the areas which you really want to go forward in terms of financial, in terms of investment, trading, or technology, whatsoever, right? So I've consolidated some of the stuff from the internet, come with some good slides out here. So hopefully it's going to be helpful. If I'm fast, you have to pause me, okay? You have to pause it, right? stop by, and then I'll try to be as slow as possible. Alright? Okay, let's get started. So what I'm going to do, we're going to talk more about in terms of how do I transition from a classroom to a workplace. Okay, so all of you, and I think I'm sure that you are in the final years of your study, right? The next place, either going to be the masters or you're going to be straight to the workplace. So we'll talk about a little more in detail in terms of how do we transition from a classroom to a workplace. Can I have the next slide, please? Thank you. So a couple of things what I jotted down. That's going to be more on acing an interview, technologies to be aware of, and then we're going to move on to slight mock interviews. We'll have some time on the mock interviews as well. Yeah, next slide, brother. Okay, great. So always, right, we should have some action plan, right? If you don't have an action plan, when you really go to your the placements, right, the interviews, at the time of interviews, you will be confused. So we have to always prepare ourselves, right? We have to stay motivated and we have to execute an action plan before we step into an interview. Alright? So what we'll do, so some of the action plans which are jotted down, very basic stuff, you might be already aware of it, but we'll slightly probably discuss a little more in detail, okay, into the specifics. Alright, so the first thing what you got to do after your graduation or before the graduation is completed, you need to establish a goal for yourself. You have to have a goal, right? So if you are in a commerce, right? I'm from a commerce background, I'm very proud to say I'm from a commerce background, right? So you might be from arts, you might be from science, you might be from technology, computer science, or whatever, right? But if you really, so right now I'm going to focus more on the technology point of view because my background comes more from the computer science, okay? Computer science background, right? So, right, so we got to establish a goal. So always put a question for yourself, saying, ask yourself, what do I do? What do I want to do? It's easy, right? Somebody wants to probably become a CEO, somebody wants to become a director, somebody wants to become or probably desperately need a job, right? Any job. So what do I want to do? Where do I have to excel? Where do I have to grow? Do I have to grow in technology? Do I have to grow in, most of the times from Hyderabad, when you talk about, a lot of the employers are from the technology side, right? You'll see a lot of big buildings and lots of things change in Hyderabad where you have Amazon, you have Microsoft, you have Facebook, you have Google, all big stuff, right? And everybody wants to work in those companies, right? But it's not that easy, right? We have to prep ourselves. But it's not impossible. It is possible. So I have to get into a tech support. I heard that there are some placements happening in GG College where you are appearing for some interviews for Genpact, Wipro Technologies, some of TCS probably. So I want to start off with the technical support, IT support, to understand the basics of the computer technology or the basics of the server administration, basics of computers, basics of probably programming, probably development. So have a goal in specific, as in, okay, this is my goal. I want to step into a technical support. That's not bad, right? You can always, right? So you can get into technical support, understand the things. Your organization will help you grow. They have their own career development plans. Okay? So you want to step into a job. So you have to step in a job. So be clear, be specific in what you want to do, right? Always have a SMART goal. SMART goal. So what is SMART goal? Guys, anybody know what about SMART goals? Right? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, what's that one? Time bound, right? This is SMART, right? So what, take out the few bits of it, like, try to be as specific and try to have a goal which is achievable, right? Put a goal as an achievable. Don't put a goal like, I want to buy a BMW in the next 2 months. Is that achievable? Yes, for somebody, if you have money, right? So, I want to build a house in next 2 months. Right? Does that sound good? Can you build a house in 2 months? No, you cannot. Right? It needs time. So have a goal where you can achieve it. Right? Don't put a goal which is so big that you can't achieve that. So start setting up goals which are smarter, which are specific, which are time bound. Right? So for an example, if you want to do a certification, right? If you want to do a certification, don't appear for a certification which is in an advanced level. No, I don't need the basic fundamentals, right? I want to straight away jump into advanced or the expertise level of a certification on Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure. Don't go that, right? So you have to always have fundamentals. You need to know the fundamentals of the computing. So have a specific goal in terms of smart goals, what do you want to do, what opportunities I want to seek for. How many people really want to, very silent, but I just want to understand, how many people want to be in a technology company? Can you raise a hand a little bit? I just want to see how many people want to work in technology. Oh, good. Alright, good. Yeah, very less hands. So I think everybody have little more advanced version of thinking in terms of I want to become a chef, I want to become a traveler, I want to become something else. So good, technology very less. Okay, fine, that's okay. But yeah, good. A few hands what have been raised, right? So let me put a question in this way. How many people want to work for Google? So the people who haven't raised their hands, they don't know how Google functions. They don't know how Google offices, probably. Right? Okay, that's fine. Alright, so how many people want to work for Facebook? None. Alright, cool. Right, so guys, I think these are the major global players in technology. Right? If you do not raise your hand, that means there's something which is lurking behind you where you don't know where you're going, right? I mean, you need to think about it. If you really want to start into technology, always hit the big shot. Have a big dream. You have to hit Google, you have to hit Microsoft, you have to hit Amazon. Don't have a goal like I want to hit Wipro Technologies. Yeah, fine. I mean, it's a good company to work with, by the way, because I'm from Wipro. But what I'm saying is, you have to hit the big goal. You should have a big dream. Even though we're little people, right? We work, probably there are so many big colleges and fancy colleges and stuff, but it doesn't matter. You should always have a big dream, right? You need to knock the big offices, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Adobe, all of this stuff. Right, so you need to know, what do I want? What opportunities will I have to seek for? That's the first one, okay? Always have a smart goal. The next thing is target the organizations. Target, that's what I said, right? So you have to target the big ones, right? Target, if you want to really get into the service providers, like the IT service providers, the major giants are Wipro Technologies, Tata Consultancy Services, IBM, what else? Genpact probably. What else? Sorry, I heard something. All companies, Tech Mahindra, all big giants. There are thousands, lakhs of employees working out from India and abroad. Okay, so target those. Now, how do you target it? Now, the first thing what you need to do is you need to understand about the company. If you don't understand about the company, it doesn't make sense that you apply for a job. You need to know about Wipro before you really apply for a job in Wipro, right? So you need to target the company. Now, how do I know? You might have a question, how do I know about this company? Everybody, how many people have a Facebook account? I don't believe this, How many people have a Snapchat on your phone? Yes. Good. How many people have WhatsApp on your phones? Very nice. We need that, right? We need to communicate. How many people have a LinkedIn account? Wow. Nice to see. Right? So LinkedIn, right? It will help you to understand about the companies. It will help you understand about the people who are working in that organizations, right? You will see their profiles. You will see see and understand the profiles, where they're working, what kind of skill sets they have, what are the technologies they might be working on. They will write their own story, right? They will write their own story. So it's always important that more than what Facebook or Instagram, Reels and all that, it's always for a graduate to come out of the college, it is important to have a LinkedIn account. If you haven't registered, register for it. Go through the websites. Go through the websites. Go to Wipro Technologies and see what they do. Go to Facebook and see what they do. We know the Facebook, but we don't know what they do, right? If I ask you what is the business, how does the revenue come from Facebook? Anybody have any idea? How does the revenue come from Google? Right? So we need to know, we need to understand what kind of businesses they are working. How do they get the revenue from? What kind of an industry is that? Right? What kind of domains they will be handling? What kind of clients, the customers they support? Right? So it's important to know about a company. So always try to target the organization, always try to locate and take action. Now, how do I take action? How do I take action? Guys, I think let's have an interactive session. I'm not getting it. So how do I take action? Once I have a goal in my mind, once I have known that where do I have to apply for, now what kind of an action I need to take? What kind of action? Anybody? Right? So they apply it. See, when you're in the classroom, you will have friends. You will try to imitate them. But when you're coming out of a classroom and you want to go to a workplace, it is your individuality. That's your personality which is going to be speaking more than whatever you're trying to influence from, right? So it's always important that you decide on to understand the JD first, and then also how do I apply? You need to also know how do I apply for. Majority of the times when you go to a TCS board or job board where you want to apply for something, there's a huge template. I don't know how many people have seen that. To fill that template itself, it will take around 15-20 minutes, and you need all the data ready with you. Okay? So you have to prepare. So first thing, you have to look at the template and see what kind of information they are asking for. Right? And why do they need it? Probably you might have questions, but they would need it because you'll be serving the global clients tomorrow. Right? So it's an information security. You can't just go, now we got an Aadhaar card information. Right? So they need the information. So you need to know what kind of a questionnaire I need to fill in order to apply for a position. Right? So these are coming under the taking an action. How do I take an action? Now determine a communication approach. Now highlight and prep for key points to discuss. Think about what value I can offer. Now that comes in confidence, right? Now what value I can offer, right? Now you need to prep as in what is that, the skill set what I carry within me. Do I have a passion to learn, or is it just the money I want to earn? Passion to learn, money to earn. Right? So it's a nice goal. So we need to think about what is my priority. Is that the money which I need to earn? Yes, absolutely yes. Everybody needs money. Everybody needs a compensation, a salary structure, and everything. However, right, when you're starting off, when you are a fresher, you have to maximize your learning. Right? You have to be that rewind of maximizing your learning. As in, you have to go back, come with a fresh perspective. As in, hey guys, probably compensation is my need, but that's not my priority. My priority is to learn now. So what is the eagerness am I showing in order to learn the subject? And then I grow on, and then I move on. You can't become a director in overnight. You can't become a senior manager overnight. You have to be an associate. You have to be a senior associate. Then you have to go back into becoming a manager, a lead, a senior manager, a director, and then you go back to a vice president or the CEO or COO of a company. Right? There is a step-by-step layer. There's a layer cake you need to step into. You can't just jump in straight away to a bigger role. Until unless you are going to start your own business, by the way. If you want to become an entrepreneur, that's a different story altogether. Right? So maximize your learning. Graduates have a fresh perspective. You have a lot of energy. all the learnings, doesn't matter which subject you are studying. It could be a bachelor's of arts, it could be a bachelor's of commerce, right? It could be probably bioscience or something with the science or something with the computer. It doesn't mean that. Everybody are broad now. They want a graduate in a technology organization. They don't need a subject where you've been growing up, right? If you really are keen to get into technology, you have to take all the learnings in your graduation, what you have carried through in your project work, in your science lab, and that you need to put it in your interview. Don't think that I did a bachelor's of arts. That doesn't mean it's kind of it doesn't help me in any way in my technology. No, it's not like that. Whatever you do in every subject, in every topic you choose for your graduation, you need to think about it and you need to put those in your interview, and that's what the interviewers will expect. Okay, so I'll give you an example, right? So the main chunk of it is setting up projects, setting up people, setting up resources, giving them platforms to perform, to reach the customer expectations. So the big chunk is hiring. So we hire managers, senior manager, leads, all of these people, right? So there will be some profiles where we get it, where people come from different subjects altogether. Now when we ask a question, which is one of the high pressure questions, why you are switching the domain? Why you want to switch from a different subject what is studied in graduation and then you want to move into technology? Many people say, I'm bored. I don't think it gives me value. Right? That's not the interviewer will expect. You have to know what you have done in your graduation, all these 3 years. What did you do? If you don't know that, then that means there's a gap in you as an individual, right? So you need to know what you did for all these 3 years. If you don't know that, all the staff members trying to give you a lot of information, a lot of lab stuff, everything is important. All of these things are important, which will help you to communicate while you're doing an interview. Okay, while you're doing an interview, right? So maximizing learning. So these are the 5 action steps which is jotted down. It will help you along the way. You establish your goals, you target the organizations, you locate and take action, determine a communication approach, and then maximize your learning. Right, so pre-interview strategy. You should have a strategy, right? For everything you should have a strategy. How many people know what is the meaning of strategy? So for example, if I have a party to attend, I have a strategy how do I attend, right? Without telling your parents. Right? I have a strategy for it also. You should have a strategy when you're going for an interview. It's very important. So it's a pre-interview strategy what you need to do. So practice variety of questions. HRs, not just the HRs, right? Hiring managers. So they'll be having you tricky questions just to understand your personality. How do you react to those kind of situations, right? And how do you answer back? Are you being honest? If you're not honest, right, people will catch you for sure, 100%. You're not be selected. So you have to be honest in what you're doing and what you're communicating to your interviewer. So very important, right? So general question. The first question, very hard to answer for a fresh graduate is, tell me about yourself. Don't think it is easy. Do you think it's an easy question? It will make or break your interview. So the first question, tell me about yourself, either it will make your interview better or it will break your interview very soon. From the 2 lines what you start off with. The first one. Okay? So it's important that you practice, you got to prep for these kind of questions, right? Behavioral questions. People might ask you, right? Hey, you did your graduation, right? So tell me, give me an example of the project what you've done. Right? Give an example of the lab practice what you've done. I'm just talking about the other subjects more focused on. But again, for the computer science folks, right? They'll ask you what kind of projects you've done, right? Don't tell them about a project put from Omnipaid. Not going to work. So even if you buy it, you need to know it. You need to know about it, right? You need to know about that project because that will sell yourself for an interview. That's the key thing which will help you sell yourself in your interview, right? So, give an example. Tell me about a time when hard questions, right? High pressure questions. High pressure. They try to put the pressure up just to see how they react. Okay. So, what are you looking for? Why are you looking for switching the domain? Very important. So, we talk about it more in detail because I just want to cover that. Many people might want to switch to a different domain because somebody wants to work in a technology organization, right? So, just I will go a little more in detail. What are your greatest strengths? Another tough question, right? But yeah, I think because an interview is nothing but you're trying to sell yourself, right? You're trying to sell your skills, so you have to be confident in terms of telling what my strengths are, right? So we'll talk about a little more in detail in the next slide. Why do you want to work for this company? This is a very important question. Many people, even right now, when I see somebody like a senior manager, when I'm interviewing a senior manager, I say, hey guys, I think, what do you think, what do you know about my company? Why did you apply for this, right? You can't just blindly apply for a company just like that. So many people don't know, hey, because I haven't got time to really, go through the company. That's a very bad answer for a senior manager. Right? It's a very bad answer for a manager to really convey that I don't know about the company what I applied for, where I have to pay him 30L per annum, which is not possible. Right? So if I have to put my budget in for a resource, I need to know how, does the candidate really know about which company he's working for, right? Which company is applying for. Okay, technical. At the end, thoughtful questions to the interviewer. Okay, yeah, okay, cool. So, many times, when, I don't know how many people face this interview, but I just want to understand, right? So, when when an interviewer asks you, do you have any questions for me? Right, probably end of the interview, many people will ask you, but most of the times, you feel like, when do I get out of the interview first? Right? Because I don't have any questions to, I'm already done, exhausted. No. So you should always have a question in your mind, as in you need to know about the role, right? So, which company am I working for and what is my role? Am I working 24/7? You need to know that. Right? Am I working 24/5? You need to know about it. So, the best question you can always ask, how would my performance be measured? Right? If I get an opportunity, how would my performance be measured in the company? Okay? So that's a brilliant question. You can just keep that thought in your mind. When I'm doing the mock interview, just keep that in your mind. We'll go back to it. I just paused. I think I did a lot of talking, but any questions anybody have? The first question, right? Why are you changing careers? So this is more for the people who are switching from a different subject to computer science. So why are you changing careers? What specifically about this job or industry appeals to you and why? How long have you been considering this move, the transition? What have you done to fill any skills gaps to make sure your qualifications are fit? Okay, these are more for the people who are switching. Okay, so what you need to do is, right, so dive into what you admire about the leadership at the organizations what you're interviewing for. The first thing what you need to know, the reason for the switch is the technology is rapidly growing, right? And I'm fascinated by your organization. I'm fascinated by Azim Premji. I'm fascinated by people like Tata, right? I'm fascinated, I'm inspired by their the leadership, the management skills, and I want to step into it, right? And I see the culture in that company, where I've seen my brother brother working there, my sister working there, and when I look at it, it's a more people-based organization, and I want to work with an organization which is more people-centric, not process-centric. When you have process-centric, you have to extend your shifts. You have to work overnights. You have to work graveyard. But many of the companies have been transformed now to people-centric after COVID. Right? After COVID, a lot of things changed. Companies became people-centric. Now, what to say? What to say? Think about this, right? I've been thinking of moving on to a larger organization for a while so that I can bring my skills to the large-scale audience. When I saw this opportunity open up, I knew I had to apply. My background is so and so, but my skills seems to be perfectly aligned with this position. My skills seems to be aligned with this organization, and then I want to move forward with that. Right? Think about it in those lines. Right? So don't say that technology. I don't know. We'll look at it in market reviews a little more in detail. Okay. So let's move on. It's a very, very important thing in India, especially in India. You have to present yourself professionally. You cannot go as in how you step into a classroom. You actually, you have to be professional in your classroom as well. And that will help you when doing an interview. You have to display the professionalism wherever you're working, wherever you're studying. And that's the thing which in India, many times people tend to sometimes be very casual. I applied for Wipro, I applied for TCS. TCS will take Wipro ke baad mein. Right? So we take things casual. It's so important that you have to have a business casual attire. Whether you're doing virtually or whether you're doing physically, you have to have a business casual attire because the first impression is always the best impression. Okay, so the moment you step in for an interview, you have to prep for it. You have to be a lot of business casuals, right? At least on a formal attire. Don't be casual. Okay. Be on time. Arrive 15 minutes early to a interview because the competition is so high that sometimes you have to stand by the line. Right? So you have to be early so that you are mentally prepared already and you can do the interview very well. Okay? Especially the people in virtual. When you have an interview virtually, it's so important than physically, right? Virtually you have to be prepared. You should have a noise cancelling headset. Always remember, don't put a headset which you are really using for your audio or your radio. Right? You should have a noise cancelling headset when you're talking, when you're doing an interview. So be professional, right? Be professional. Check your microphone, check your audio. If you want to carry your extra copies of resumes, always copy your resumes. Get your resumes in hand with you. Okay, always take a pen and note. If you want, just so that at least the interviewer will know that you have already prepared for it. And that's the first impression what you can create. You can't mesmerize the interviewer just by your talking, right? So you should really be focusing on all of these. Right? Convey confidence in what you say and what you do. Pay attention to you presenting yourself. Your body language, very, very important. Whether it is virtual or whether it is physical. How you sit. How you move. Don't get confused. They ask you many questions, but don't just move your posters just like that. Because we Indians, right, what we do usually, it's in me as well, right? We just nod for everything. So the other person doesn't know whether it is yes or no. If it is no, also will not. But yes, also will not. Right? Your postures are very important. You have to ensure that your posture is right when you're doing an interview. Even if it is virtual, just don't, somebody walks by, your mom walks by and you'll see, and then you come back to the interview. And you don't have a background, you don't have a white background, right? Or any plain background, basically. Right? You should have a plain background, you should take time and ensure that nobody hits in your room till your interview completes. No noises. That's why I'm saying, even if there are noises, you should have a noise cancelling headset. So at least it will stop it. It will stop it not coming through. So it's important to have a business attire virtually as well as physically because the first impression will sell you and you get a job, probably with a 12L or probably with a 6L. You never know. Right? You want 12L or 6L? You want 12L, you have to be prepared. Right? Okay, so this is the method which I wanted to talk about. How many people know this method? STAR. No? Okay, good. So it makes me a little more easier for you to explain, right? So any question the interviewer asks you in terms of behavioral or in terms of what did you do at that time in a challenging time like COVID, or what did you do when you're doing a project work, what did you do when you're doing a lab work or a computer science work, like, you should always look at this method. Okay, the STAR. STAR is nothing but situation. You need to explain the situation. You explain the task, what you did, and then you action, and then what was the result. Many people will stop here. I took the action. Result kuch nahi. Okay, so ensure that you have a star for every question what you answer. Now this was the situation. When I was doing my project work, this is what has been assigned to me or allocated to me, and what did I do? How did I work with my team? How did I work with my staff? How did I work with my lecturers? And how did I gather information? How did I do a fact finding? How did I do a requirement gathering? How did I ensure I executed this project 100% successfully? Right? So you need to talk about the situation, you need to talk about the task, what is the action you have taken, what is your contribution in that, and then how did it resolve it, how did it result it. Okay, so I'll ask you some questions in the mock. I would like to see, are you going to use this STAR method or not? Use it. It will be helpful, guys. I'm telling you, this is the method which is going to be helping you to go beyond. Go beyond. Right? The first impression is always the best impression. Alright, so, where do I start? Many people have the questions, where do I start? Do I have to do it in software development? Do I have to do it in DevOps? IT support, cloud platforms, database, cybersecurity, quality assurance. No, you never know, right? So where do I start, right? Alright. So a little more detail about some of the personal recommendations what I would like to give you. There are so many options in the market, but you need to this is my personal recommendation. Looking at the market at this point of time, I know how many people know about cloud platforms. What is cloud? Cool. I have seen 2 hands. Very good. 3 hands. Very nice. Right. So this is a rapid growing platforms. Right. Very rapidly, globally, people use cloud. There's nothing called a data center these days. Now, what is data center? Previously, what we used to have? We used to have a room. We used to have a servers where you have to place, you have to have a nut, bolt, screw it, connected LAN, internet connection, you pay for the money, right? So, lot of cash monetization, there's a flow of cash flow. Now, what happened in the coming days, in these days, is cloud. Right? Wherever you see Microsoft Azure. How many people know Microsoft Azure? Only 2. Good. Google Cloud, right? Amazon Web Services. These are the major players of cloud, right? And there's Alibaba as well. But yeah, there are major players like this. So you need to understand. So what I recommend for you guys is to, when you really want to step into, see, it doesn't matter, right? So I also mentioned technical support, by the way, right? That could be your stepping stone, possibly, to understand computer science, a little more in detail about what is Linux, what is Unix, what is server administration, how do I troubleshoot a PC, how do I see. The first training will happen when you troubleshoot, investigate your laptop. The more you troubleshoot your personal laptop or your iPad or your MacBook or the tab, that's where your practical training begins. When you research in Google and you find out the solutions, right? That's when your practical training begins. So the technical support is also, you'll see Kubernetes, you'll see Prometheus, these are all big words, but don't worry about it. Right, so pursuing education in cloud fields, right? The first thing what you need to do is, as I said, there are so many resources available online, something like Cloud Guru. If you want to know about cloud computing, please try to see Cloud Guru, that's very important. Simple Learn, Skillshare, LinkedIn Learning, these are all paid versions, but at least right, if you cannot afford, if you're unable to afford it, it's at least you have 1 month free. Utilize that. You have practical labs in there where you can really understand a little bit more. There are beautiful learners, a learning team who will guide you through as in understanding these kind of platforms. Okay, so my personal recommendation would be more in terms of you guys DevOps now. The other part of it is, how many people know DevOps? By the way, at least one or two. No? Okay, cool. So DevOps and cloud is the most. These are the two areas which are rapidly growing in the IT sector. So if you know the tools in terms of understanding of AWS, understanding of Microsoft Azure. So again, guys, have a smart goal that you need to know only about AWS. I will say, if you want to know only about AWS, go with AWS. But don't put a goal like, I want to do Azure, I want to do Google Cloud, I want to do Amazon Web Services. It's not going to work like that. Now, how many people shop in Amazon? Everybody shop in Amazon? Amazon, Bonanza, Diwali, and all of that. Amazon was an e-commerce industry. They have changed the way people shop. The whole retail industry has moved, transformed to now it's Flipkart in India. So, but Amazon is a big player globally, right? So now understand, why do I have the Amazon get into AWS? Already their business is high in retail industry, in the e-commerce industry. Now they have invested to be a cloud. Amazon was not even near to the technology before. They were never even closer to Microsoft. Now if you look at largely every organization has Amazon Web Services. The most highly used cloud platforms is Amazon. From the retail, e-commerce to the technology. Now understand this, right? So again, I'm going to come back. So the goal, keep it one. We want to be doing an Amazon AWS certification, fundamental administration, please go for it. If you want to go with Azure, go for it. But choose one, okay? The next part is the DevOps. Now DevOps is nothing but the collaboration between the development team. Okay, how many people know software lifecycle, by the way? Software lifecycle? No, cool, no problem. Right? How does the product come into the picture? Software, how does the software come into the picture? You have a development team, right? The people who do a lot of coding, scripting, all of this fancy stuff, and then it transforms into testing. They directly don't put it in a production, right? They don't give it to the customer directly. It goes through a testing, and then from the testing, it goes to the support, and then it makes it, before going to live, they go to the support, which is the customer support, right? How do I do a technical support for production? So there is a cycle to it, okay? DevOps is a practice model which helps in automating all of this. So there are multiple tools involved in this framework, in this model, okay? So it goes from coding, planning, coding, building, testing, and then integrate. They go to deploy, operate, and monitor. The moment you give it to the customer, the product, what do you need to do next? Is it done? It's not done. You will have the customer report an issue saying that whenever I'm clicking on this website, it does nothing. So you have to do a bug fixing. You have to fix it later. So you have a maintenance example like a car, right? So the beautiful, it doesn't stop there. You have to go for a service. And what the car company will do, he will see whatever the problem was with the previous model, and he will ensure that he will get you another BMW or an Audi. Okay? So, according to the market. So it's important that you deploy it, you get the code, and then you operate, and then you monitor it. You monitor the support mechanism, right? So basically, what I want to say is these are a lot of tools which are involved in this. So if you want to really grow in the cloud platform, it will also interconnect it to DevOps tools where you need to learn some of the tools. Tools like Kubernetes. It will help in automation. Tools like Jenkins, tools like Git, tools like Nagios, right? These are hot in the market. If you want to really go with the 20L in the next 3 years, that's what that's what will give you. Okay? So if you want to grow faster, you need to learn DevOps. If you want to go faster, you need to know the cloud platforms. Okay? So that's it. Right. The last thing which I would like to talk about a little bit on mock interviews and stuff like that, right? So a couple of questions which are really important. The interviewers will gauge you. These are the questions. How are the candidates' communication skills during the interview? Okay, that is the first one. Did the candidate research the organization prior to the interview? Did you know about the organization before you applying for it? Did the candidate demonstrate through their answers good team building or interpersonal skills? The first, they might be asking a question saying, how would you work in teams? Do you like to be a team player or do you want to be an individual contributor? Some people like individual contribution, they don't want to work in teams. Right? Some people like working in teams. Right? So that is another question. So did the candidate demonstrate through their answers a high level of customer skills abilities? Always very important, guys. When you're doing an interview, you should always portray the customer skills. Portray, how customer is important for you, right? So you have to always keep your customer on the top of it whenever you're answering the question, and that will help you sell yourself for the interview, guys. Believe in yourself. Be professional. We've spoken all about it. The most important thing is you have to believe in yourself. That's the key thing which will help you grow quicker and quicker, not just in India. You can go abroad, everywhere, wherever you want to work. So you have to believe. Don't always feel down about yourself. Don't think that I don't have a communication skill. How can I do it? You can do it. You will learn step by step. You can't become a macho man just in a shorter time. You have to groom in. You have to groom in to get into that phase of learning. All right, guys. That's it from me.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Paul, for your from Kushi. It's an enterprise. Thank you for Dinesh and Navya. Thank you. They're going to organize interviews on Thursday for especially women candidates or the girl students here. So I'm going to give them a time a little bit later, just 10 minutes. So now I would request a second speaker, and it will be a short session. Thank you very much for your patient hearing, students. Please continue that. Okay, so I warmly welcome Mrs. Anders Malduraman to the stage. A brief introduction about her. So she had done her BCom Computers from Wesley Degree College, Secunderabad. So she's a Hyderabadi, nothing to worry about that, right? And then she went on to pursue Masters in Business Administration from University of Wales, Cardiff, United Kingdom. And now she's heading the Quality Assurance Department of Mortgage Brain, Devonshire Square, London. Okay, so thank you very much for being with us and really for this time with the students. Thank you.
Firstly, thank you to Principal Sir, HOD and all the organizing committee, and also John Sukumar Sir for his time. This is very inspiring to see the final year students. Yes, this is amazing to be in your midst. Firstly, you learned so much from Vikas Sir, what he's taught about the company and how you prepare yourself for interviews. I know you all are aspiring candidates, want to do something, you want to go out and achieve something, do yourself good and take care of your family. This is the thoughts that you have. And I'm here quickly, I'll present what I have to say in 10 to 15 minutes or shorter than that. So I want your full attention, please, okay? So you're excited for your future? Yes? So when Vikas sir was asking a question, question, how many of you want to work in technology? I've seen most of these right-hand side people raising their hands. So left-hand side, probably this will be like an aspiration learning of what we're going to have. So first what I'll do is a quick introduction of myself and to teach you about what FinTech is about and also what are the emerging roles that you can look for and also career paths in quality assurance. So as Sir was mentioning, I've done my bachelor's here, BCom Computers. So my background is accounts, not technology, but now I head a department of quality assurance, which is technology department in London. So this has happened because of, not many of you, probably most of you are from different backgrounds. How many of you are from computers background? Technology background, okay, and a couple of you are not. So most of you are, which is really good. And also for candidates who are not from IT background, who wants to go into technology, this slide will really be helpful so you can go into IT sector and how you can build your career. Okay, so I can move on to FinTech. So just wanted to know, how many of you know what is FinTech? FinTech, only one person so far. What is FinTech? Alright, so FinTech is financial technologies. So you will see in the next slide what FinTech is about. This is an application where all the financial services use. So it is a blend of finance and technology which supports and enables any banking and financial services. So that is what FinTech is. FinTech in your mind is financial technology. Anyone that uses finances also uses technology. That is FinTech. And I'll give you an examples of what FinTech companies are, especially the leading companies in India. One of the leading companies are, how many of you know Paytm? Yes, Google Pay? Most of you. PhonePe. So these are leading companies, FinTech companies in India, Paytm, PhonePe. So, you have your YONO app. Anyone using SBI YONO apps? Yes, most of you. Okay. So any other mobile banking applications and everything is a FinTech platform, which means finance and technology gathered together, which will enable you to move further in your finances, move money, do any payments and so on. So that is FinTech. And I come from, I'm working in a company called Mortgage Brain, which provides home applications, home loans in UK, United Kingdom. So we are the leading company in the United Kingdom, providing all financial services or mortgage services to the lenders and banks there in United Kingdom. So this is what FinTech is about. And if you, the reason why I was mentioning FinTech is not because I'm coming from that background of working there, but because it's also a leading platform, especially for aspiring candidates like you. So how you can go and learn about it. It actually fetches good roles in the market, even in Indian market, you will see that. So one of the roles that you can get within FinTech is data scientist, as Vikas sir was mentioning before in the slides. You've seen the DevOps and everything, so it all interrelates. So you have cyber scientists, cyber security specialists, quality assurance analysts, and many other roles. But these are at least a few roles that you could concentrate and go about. So moving on to what quality assurance is and where I am. So anyone who is interested in technology and doesn't have a technology background like me, but want to be in IT, can go into quality assurance, which is basically, as mentioned before, when a product comes or when a requirement has come to a company, they develop a product, right? For example, let's take Paytm. Paytm is an application, most of you use that. So Paytm, before deploying it into markets, there will be a team to quality assurance to check if it is working properly before you and I can use. So that is called quality assurance team. So anyone who wants to have a career or you want to choose a career in quality assurance, then I have another slide which actually gives and information of how you can get there. But quality assurance is mainly providing quality product for a company. So that's the main objective, and the jobs and roles or job titles within the quality assurance are quality assurance analyst, test analyst, or software development engineer in test, and functional tester, performance QA analyst. So how to get this? Even if you've done a lot of other probably projects or any other courses, if anyone are interested in learning this, it is quite simple. So this is a good news. Anyone can learn it, anyone can do it if you have that aspiration to do it. So each company or when there is a project, there is a department called quality assurance. So please be mindful that there are a lot of jobs within this sector as well if you have to choose. And how do you learn it? Guess what I've done? How do you think I've learned quality assurance, and I'm heading a department actually. So what have I done? Nothing? Have I studied towards it? No? You all are so quiet, you can talk to me. So what have I done, you think? I've done some courses, yes, towards that. And how many years probably you think I've done this course? Yeah? 2 years? Okay, randomly. Alright, so this is probably I've done, I haven't done any official course towards it. It's just that I had knowledge, someone has given me a knowledge of what it is and so on, like I am doing to you. And what I've done is I've done a self-study, I've researched. What I've done is I've used YouTube. YouTube is free, right? So I didn't have to pay anything. So I went and I researched what what quality assurance says in YouTube. And also I've gone through many sites, randomly say what quality assurance is, and I've got many links here. So what I've done is I've listed those out for you. So how to learn it, you can go, there are many online boot camps that happens. So you can go to any site. So quality assurance is same across the globe. So it's not only for London or United Kingdom, it's for all across the globe. If you go anywhere in the world, it's the same process. So that's beautiful. As mentioned before, DevOps and all this is same wherever you go in the globe. So learning and having an understanding is important. So you can learn it via online boot camps. There are many boot camps and so on, and I'll try and provide the links to you for that. And also you can go to YouTube and do a research on what quality assurance is and what the basics of that is about. And also there is a basic, maybe most of you know Guru 99. So Guru 99 is a free website again where you can go and learn a couple of things, and a couple of other courses are paid, but you get most information there. So please do your self-study in this and understand what that is, and you can easily crack an interview. So what to learn? So you will in order to learn quality assurance, or for that matter, any job that you're aspiring to be in technology or in IT side, you will have to learn about SDLC, which is Software Development Lifecycle. If you don't know this, then you wouldn't really have an understanding of how you can crack an interview in technology side. So please learn, research about Software Development Lifecycle, which is SDLC, which will give you an understanding of how an IT project or a company operates, and where each, you will then meet many roles within that SDLC and get an understanding. Okay, and to get there, quality assurance have two roles, which is manual and automation. Automation requires some programming languages. So I've listed down the programming languages for you, so you can learn. If you are interested, you can learn them online. Again, a couple of free tools are available in the market. You can go online and research and learn. So you have Java, JavaScript, Selenium. These are like an IDE tool. WebStorm is again an IDE tool, but JMeter, Python, these are JMeter is a tool again, but Python is a programming language. So these are all the languages that you can actually look into, get an understanding, and these are booming courses again online. So moving on to the next one on a conclusion. For this afternoon, you have learned so much about interview, you learned about how you can do it. But the first question you should be asking yourself is, what is your aspiration? What you aspire to be? And maybe if you have that already in your mind, then you can set your goal towards it and learn all about it. You know, in these days, you cannot give a vague excuse or an answer saying that I didn't have resources. You do have resources, you have everything online to study, and I am one of those examples for you. Haven't done anything going to colleges or classes, but whatever you have studied also applies, but you have everything online now. So to do any courses or anything, you can look for online classes, online articles, learn about that, and progress your career in that way. And also being focused and determined will make you achieve what you are today. Okay. So any questions on quality assurance or fintech? Any questions that you have to throw at me? Understood everything that I said, or maybe you didn't understand anything at all. So I believe that you understand everything by the way you're all smiling back at me. I think this is how we want to go in fintech or any this thing. So this is just an overview of how you can also progress in your upcoming career path, starting from maybe a couple of days or months from now. Okay, all the best to you all.
Sanders. She not only just talked about the fintech and academic path, but also she gave her own example, right? So that should motivate many of you who might think that you want to move from commerce or say art streams into technology, and you can all do it, right? And you can also do it and be in a very big place soon, right? So that's really motivating. Now, the final part was like we will have 2 or 3 mock interviews. So we are right on course. We are not actually going, overtime. We thought to finish it by 2:15. We still are, but please consider us. You have a small introduction about Kushi Enterprise and what they do and what interviews they are going to take. So I request Navya and Dinesh, okay? And I'm going to give 10 minutes, sorry for that. And they are going to talk about their organization as well as the interviews that they are going to conduct on Thursday, right? So this is basically first, please come.
I would like to admit that that is a great session by both of you. Thank you. And you made our path very easy. Okay, hello Narandaru. Wait చేస్తున్నారా lunch కోసం? Okay, so as your sir introduced me, నా పేరు నవ్యం and he is Dinesh. మేము ఖుషి ఆర్గనైజేషన్ నుంచి వచ్చాం, ఖుషి కంపెనీ నుంచి. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ 10 minutes చెప్పేది వినాలి, ఎందుకంటే జాబ్ ఆపర్చునిటీస్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తున్నాం. మీరు ఇంట్రెస్టెడ్ క్యాండిడేట్స్ రావచ్చు. ఓకేనా? అర్థమైందండి? ఎస్. సో షుడ్ ఐ మెయింటైన్ వాట్ లాంగ్వేజ్? Telugu or English or bilingual? Don't ask me Hindi or Urdu, which I am not. English? Sure? Everybody is comfortable? Okay, let me use both the languages. For some there who don't know English, just my English is very bad at least. So, alright, Kushi organization, as already sir said, we are hiring women. Okay, we have women. So I'm sorry boys, it's not for you, but at least you can help out your sisters or cousins, whoever it is, you can refer them. On Thursday and Friday here in Nizamabad, we have our company, we have our interviews in Nizamabad itself. Okay, so let us know about what the company is about and what is the position and what is the interview process and what do you need. Okay, already what do you need for an interview already Mr. Vikas has covered with our pre-interview strategy. That was an excellent slide. Alright, so Kushi organization, we have within India we have 9 offices. Even apart from India also we have branches. It's a Silicon Valley based company. It's in US. Okay. ఈ కంపెనీ 2019లో మన తెలంగాణలో స్టార్ట్ అయింది. We have started in 2019. That is in the place of Bongir. How many of you know Bongir? Yadgir Gutta, you know, just before that. I'm an Andhra girl who doesn't know much of the roads in Telangana. So better for me is that I remember in that way. So my company oka women start chesaru. Our director is Shivani. She's a girl. Whatever the life struggle she has gone through it, she has thought, let us give an opportunity for the rural women especially, who have a lot of aspirations but couldn't get out of their village. అవునా కాదండి? ఎస్పెషలీ విమెన్ని ఎందుకు హైర్ చేస్తారంటే ఐ హ్యావ్ టు. మన లైఫ్ ఎంటైర్ సైకిల్ ఈజ్ డిజైన్డ్ బై అవర్ రిలేటివ్స్, ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఆర్ ఫ్యామిలీ. ఎస్ నో? బాయ్స్ హ్యావ్ ఎ స్కోప్. అది వద్దు నాన్న, ఇది వద్దు అమ్మ, దే కెన్ సే. బట్ గర్ల్స్, నేను బీకామ్ చదువుతా అంటే బీఎస్సీ చదువు, నేను బిఏ చేస్తా అంటే నువ్వు ఇంకేదో చదువు. ఇక్కడ నుంచి మన ఊరు నుంచి వేరే ఊరు పంపించడానికి అంతగా యాక్సెప్టెన్స్ ఉండదు. అవునా? దట్స్ ద రీజన్ ఎక్కువగా రూరల్ విమెన్ అని నేను ఎందుకు మెన్షన్ చేశా అంటే, మా కంపెనీ ఎవరైతే ఇలా రూరల్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్లో ఉండి విమెన్కి ఆస్పిరేషన్ ఉంటుందో అలాంటి వాళ్ళకి ఆపర్చునిటీస్ ఇద్దామని 2019లో స్టార్ట్ చేశాం. ఇలాగే నుంచుని ఊరు వాడ తిరిగి సందులు తిరిగి we have informed many women, but you know what, 4 women మా దగ్గరకు వచ్చారు 2019లో. నలుగురే. వాళ్ళు కూడా జస్ట్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ చూద్దాం బికాస్ ట్రస్ట్ ఇష్యూస్. వచ్చారు, జాబ్ అన్నారు, విమెన్ అన్నారు, మన ఊర్లో ఇస్తా అంటున్నారు, అది కూడా ఫ్రీగా నేర్పిస్తా అంటున్నారు. వై? దెర్ విల్ బి ఏ క్వశ్చన్, రైట్? సో అక్కడ నుంచి జర్నీ అంతా చెప్పాలంటే సార్ ఇచ్చిన 10 minutesలో సరిపోదు కాబట్టి, సో అక్కడ నుంచి ఈరోజు వీఆర్ స్టాండింగ్ విత్ 1500 విమెన్ ఇన్ తెలంగాణ. మన కంపెనీ వచ్చి ఆల్రెడీ మిస్టర్ వికాస్ has mentioned, we work on artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? I am not a computer science student. నాకు అర్థమైన లాంగ్వేజ్లో చెప్తాను. We have mobiles. ఫేస్ రికగ్నైజ్ చేసి మీ మొబైల్ అన్లాక్ అవుతుందా? ఎలా అవుతుందండి? 20,000 పెట్టి కొన్నాను కదా, చచ్చినట్టు అన్లాక్ అవ్వాలి, అంతేనా? అందుకే అన్లాక్ అవుతుందా? హౌ కెమెరా ఈజ్ రికగ్నైజింగ్ ద హ్యూమన్ ఫేస్? సంబడి హ్యాస్ ట్రైన్డ్ ఇట్. రెండు కళ్ళు, ఒక ముక్కు, ఒక నోరు ఉంటే అది హ్యూమన్ ఫేస్ గుర్తుపట్టు అని ఎవరో ట్రైనింగ్ ఇచ్చారు. అవునా కాదండి? రోబోలో రజనీకాంత్ ఇస్తారు కదా రోబోకి ట్రైనింగ్, అలా somehow somebody has given training to the machine. Understanding? సో ఖుషీలో ఎగ్జాక్ట్గా విమెన్ని మేము తీసుకునేది డేటా క్యూరేటర్ రోల్. వాట్ ఈస్ ద డేటా క్యూరేటర్ రోల్ అంటే, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక మిషన్ ఉంది. మిషన్ అంటే సెన్స్ కంప్యూటర్ కానీ ఎనీ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ డివైస్. ఓకే, ఆ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ డివైస్ ఇది ఒక మొబైల్ అని గుర్తుపట్టాలి అండి, రికగ్నైజ్ చేయాలి. ఎలా గుర్తుపడుతుంది? గుర్తుపట్టు ఇది మొబైల్ అని చెప్తే గుర్తుపడుతుందా అండి? నీడ్ సమ్ ట్రైనింగ్. ఫోటో ద్వారా కానీ, టెక్స్ట్ ద్వారా కానీ, వీడియో ద్వారా కానీ వీ షుడ్ ట్రైన్ ద మిషన్. మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ అని అంటాం దాన్ని. ఆ మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్, ఆ డేటా క్యూరేషన్ రోలే మనం ఖుషీలో పని చేసేది. ఓకేనా? అంటే మొబైల్ ఇలా ఫోటో తీసి, ఇలా ఫోటో తీసి, ఇలా ఫోటో తీసి, ఇలా ఫోటో తీసి, అన్ని యాంగిల్స్, అన్ని డేటా పాయింట్స్లో ఫోటో తీసి మిషన్కి ఇస్తాం. ఇది ఏ యాంగిల్లో కనపడినా దీన్ని ఫోన్ అనేది రికగ్నైజ్ చేయని చెప్తాం. అవునా? అలా ఎంటైర్ వరల్డ్లో ఎన్ని ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయండి? ఒక ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఎన్ని యాంగిల్స్లో అంటే ఎన్ని ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయి? అవునా కదా? అన్నింటినీ మిషన్ గుర్తుపట్టాలా? ఓన్లీ ఇండియాలో మన ఫేసెస్ని గుర్తుపట్టాలా, చైనా వాళ్ళ ఫేసెస్లో కూడా గుర్తుపట్టాలా? ఎస్ నో? ఎవ్రీబడి షుడ్ రికగ్నైజ్ కదా ఎంటైర్ వరల్డ్లో. సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద స్కోప్ ఫర్ డేటా క్యూరేషన్ రోల్ ఫర్ ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్. మీరు లాస్ట్ టైం మీరు చూస్తే మనం ఇప్పుడు సిమ్ తీసుకోవడం ఎంత ఈజీ ప్రాసెస్ అండి. యూ గో, యూ గివ్ యువర్ ఆధార్, దే విల్ స్కాన్ యువర్ ఆధార్ కార్డ్, దే విల్ క్లిక్ అ ఫోటో ఆఫ్ యూ అండ్ దే విల్ గివ్. కానీ ఒక 7 years బ్యాక్ సిమ్ తీసుకునే ప్రాసెస్ ఇది కాదండి. ఒక 5-10 పేజీల అప్లికేషన్ ఫిల్ చేయాలి, ఒక 3 జిరాక్స్ కాపీస్ ఇవ్వాలి, ఆధార్ ఫోటో ఇవ్వాలి, ఒక 15 days తర్వాత మీకు సిమ్ ఇస్తారు, ఒక 3 days తర్వాత మీ సిగ్నల్ యాక్టివేషన్ అవుతుంది. అవునా? బట్ ఇప్పుడు హార్డ్లీ 1/2 hour 5 minutes ఒక థంబ్ ప్రింట్తో అయిపోతుంది. అవునా అండి? హౌ దిస్ ఇస్ ఆల్ బీయింగ్ డన్? బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్. ఓకే, సో ఖుషీలో మీ నిజామాబాద్లో రీసెంట్గా ఆఫీస్ ఓపెన్ చేసాం. దట్ ఈస్ అన్ ఐఎమ్ సారీ ఐఎమ్ ఆస్కింగ్ ద అడ్రస్ వేర్ ఇట్ ఇస్. ఎస్, కంటేశ్వర డౌన్ హాల్, డౌన్ హాల్. సారీ ఐఎమ్ బ్యాడ్ విత్ ద అడ్రస్. ఓకే, కంటేశ్వర డౌన్ హాల్లో ధనలక్ష్మి బ్యాంక్, ఇఫ్ యూ ఆల్ ఆర్ అవేర్ ఆఫ్, దాని ఆపోజిట్లో యాక్సిస్ బ్యాంక్ ఉంది. దాని పైన 2nd floorలో మన ఆఫీస్ ఉంది. మనకి ఒక 150 women దాకా ఓపెనింగ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ థర్స్డే అండ్ ఫ్రైడే ఫ్రమ్ 9 to 5 మేము కండక్ట్ చేస్తున్నాం. సరే, ఇంటర్వ్యూకి మీరు ఏమేమి కావాలి ఆల్రెడీ మిస్టర్ వికాస్ హెస్ కవర్డ్. ఐ నో నీడ్ టు రిపీట్ అగైన్ ద సేమ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ వీ గోనా ఆస్క్ and he also gave an answer what to be answered. Our interview is going to be a bit different. We will only interview with activities. ఓకే, మీకు చిన్న క్లాస్ చెప్తాం. మీరు చెప్పిన క్లాస్లో నుంచి ఎలా ఆన్సర్ చేస్తున్నారు, పజిల్ గేమ్స్ అని, మెమరీ గేమ్స్ అని, ఒక ఫన్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ ఉంటుంది. బట్ అందులోనే సీరియస్ సెలెక్షన్ కూడా ఉంటుంది. ఓకేనా? వాట్ ఆల్ థింగ్స్ యూ నీడ్ టు క్యారీ ఫర్ అన్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ? మీ రెజ్యూమ్ తీసుకుని రండి, ఆధార్ జిరాక్స్ తీసుకుని రండి, ఒక ఫోటో తీసుకుని రండి. ఐ క్లియర్? సో 1 resume, 1 photograph and 1 Aadhaar card Xerox you can bring. What is the eligibility? We have 2 criteria. One, you definitely need to be a woman. Nowhere we are going to hire anybody else. And second thing, your age should be 19 to 26 in between. That's our norm. Okay? You can inform your neighbors, especially the women who has an aspiration, who is in need, who is from no background or are alumni, anybody you can refer. Okay? Am I clear? And I have only one last thing to say, that the training is going to be in Bongir. మీరు ఒకవేళ ఇంటర్వ్యూలో సెలెక్ట్ అయితే మిమ్మల్ని అందరినీ భువనగిరి తీసుకుని వెళ్ళి ఒక 1 month ట్రైనింగ్ ఇస్తాం. ఆ తర్వాత జాబ్ మీరు నిజామాబాద్లో చేస్తారు. భువనగిరిలో ఎందుకు అంటే మనకు అక్కడ 120 acre క్యాంపస్ ఉంది, స్విమ్మింగ్ పూల్ ఉంది, స్కేటింగ్ బోర్డ్ ఉంది, అండ్ యూ హ్యావ్ అ బ్యూటిఫుల్ ఆఫీస్ దేర్. సో ట్రైనింగ్ అంటే ఇలా కూర్చోబెట్టి ఇలా 1 man షో ఉండదు. మీ సీనియర్స్ అంటే మీ ముందు బ్యాచ్ వాళ్ళు ఎవరున్నారో వాళ్ళే మీకు ట్రైనింగ్ చేస్తారు. అండ్ ఇట్ విల్ బి ఫన్ విత్ గేమ్స్, అవుట్డోర్ యాక్టివిటీస్ అండ్ ఆల్సో టెక్నాలజీ. మీకు ఏమి తెలియాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. మీరు BA బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ అయినా, BCom బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ అయినా, BSc బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ అయినా, సారీ నాకు ఇది కూడా తెలుసు, ఇంకే బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ అయినా కూడా పర్వాలేదు. కంప్యూటర్ తెలిసినా తెలియకపోయినా పర్వాలేదు. మేము ట్రైనింగ్ ఇచ్చి మిమ్మల్ని జాబ్లో పెడతాం. ఖచ్చితంగా ట్రైనింగ్, మీరు ఇంటర్వ్యూలో సెలెక్ట్ అయితే జాబ్ గ్యారంటీ. దట్ ఐ విల్ సే డ్యూరింగ్ ట్రైనింగ్ ప్రాసెస్ మండే టు ఫ్రైడే మనకి క్లాసెస్ అవుతాయి. సాటర్డే ఎగ్జామ్ పెడతారు. దే విల్ కండక్ట్ అన్ ఎగ్జామ్ ఆన్ సాటర్డే. If you are a good student like Dinesh, you will pass. If you are a bad student like Navya, you may extend your training for further weeks. అంటే 4 weeks training, నాలాంటి వాళ్ళకి 6 weeks అవుతుంది అంతే. ఆ తర్వాత జాబ్. ఎవరికైనా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే ఐ ఓన్లీ గివ్ 1 minute టైం, యూ కెన్ ఆస్క్ మీ. కెరియర్లో HR అవ్వాలి, ఫినాన్స్ వెళ్ళాలి, ఆ కంపెనీ ఇస్ హ్యూజ్. మన దగ్గర డేటా క్యూరేటర్గా జాయిన్ అయ్యి హెచ్ఆర్గా చేస్తున్నారు. కెన్ యూ బోత్ స్టాండ్? సో వాళ్ళిద్దరు హెచ్ఆర్స్ ఆఫ్ ఖుషీ. సో ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ అన్ ఆస్పిరేషన్ ఫర్ DevOps team, anywhere you can grow. But there is one line Mr. Vikas has mentioned: be bold, be open-minded, be a intermediate background తో వచ్చారు విత్ నో నాలెడ్జ్. తెలుగులో మాట్లాడడానికి కూడా టఫ్గా ఫీల్ అయిన వాళ్ళు కట్ డౌన్ 4 years కట్ చేస్తే ఈ రోజు వాళ్ళ కంపెనీకి వెబ్సైట్ డిజైన్ చేసి కోడ్ రాసి ఇవ్వగలుగుతారు. దట్స్ ద గ్రోత్ యూ విల్ ఫైండ్. Last. Anybody else who have questions? The training is going to start from March 1st or depends on after your exams or something like that. But interview is going to be on Thursday, Friday. That's it. Thank you so much for the opportunity and thank you. And sorry to trouble you in between. Thank you.
Girls here, those who are really looking for an employment soon after their studies. Okay, this is the right thing to do, and basically it's an all-women organization, so you can do whatever you want. Thank you very much, Navya and Dinesh. So their only one concern is most of them are in a 6th sem, and
If you are selected, then we'll see for the batches later on.
So only two criteria you said: women, okay, BA, BSc or BCom. Thursday, resume copy, Aadhaar card xerox, and a photograph. Okay, you don't need to come to college. You can straight away go to Shri office. But please mention who is going there, or otherwise you provide.
So can we pass on the number, right kind of information you can contact us? Yes. It's 74-165-01565. Mr. Dinesh. Okay. If you call me, my number, address, मुझको भी पता नहीं.
Just a minute. Give a big clap to Navya.
Are you feeling hungry?
No, sir.
Okay, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, sir. I'm doing well.
Great. Is that okay if I call you Keerti?
My cousin is
Oh, great. Thank you. All right. So is everything okay? Is it the right time for the interview? All right. Cool. All right. Nice. Just wanted to understand. Let me introduce myself. Okay, my name is Vikas, and I'm the hiring manager for today. And I just would like to know about a little bit about yourself. Okay, so talk me through in terms of what's your background, what's your academics, and then what's the project you've done, right? And it's all about you. So the time is here for yourself. Please go ahead. Over to you.
Yes, sir. My name is Rachna Kirti, and I'm studying currently pursuing music course in Vidyas Government College, Telangana University, and I have secured good marks in my intermediate and SSC. And my hobbies are I love to travel and dancing. And then my recent achievements are I recently won third prize in quiz competition conducted by National Statistics Office. And then I have completed mentorship, undergone mentorship training offered by Mentor to Goa. And then that thing is, I have also undergone training, soft skills training offered by Infosys, Mahindra Pride, and ECS too. And then, yes, so this is
Great, thank you very much. It was great. Okay, cool. So I think you did specify two things which I would like to know a little bit more about. Okay, so the quiz certification, what you mentioned, can you a little bit elaborate on
yes,
what was it about?
It is recently done. It was conducted on February 10th. So the National Statistical Office or location of National Statistics Team has conducted a quiz program. Like the districts, 50 to 60 teams have been come across from the districts from the various colleges, degree colleges, and it is especially mentioned for the statistics students. And I was from the background of statistics, so I have participated along with my best friend together as a team. And then it has been like for the 50 teams, they have conducted prelims exam, and then they have selected the top 6 who scored best, and then they have conducted a quiz over here in the stage, on the stage. So in that way, I have.
What is that certification? What is the certification all about?
Statistics.
Statistics.
Statistics and database and media and economics.
Good. Thank you for the detail. Okay, so you also mentioned something about soft skill training. right? So could you little bit elaborate on what is that training all about?
Yes.
All right, and what is that learnings you have inbuilt yourself out of that training?
Yes, sir. Firstly, I have undergone training from the Infosys. It was student development program, and our college, Johnson Master, has offered it. So we enhanced our skills, soft skills, interpersonal skills, like communication skills and collaborative skills, and team playing and leadership skills, etc. So the Infosys team has conducted many activities for us. It is an activity-oriented program. So we just learned many things from it.
I think your profile seems to be very interesting. Okay, so you're doing your graduation at the same time you did some quiz certification.
Yes.
You're also very into you want to do soft skill training, which you've already done it. So excellent job there. I see some of the stuff in your computer skills in your resume.
Yes.
Okay, so you mentioned about C, Python, HTML, SQL. So could you little bit elaborate in terms of what's your skill set?
Yes, sir. It is all in my academics. I just learned all these from my academics itself. So our first semester is about C and second CPP. So that and database also. So yes.
So, what's your expertise level? I'm sure that you've gone through this in your academics. So you are more on to the. Did you try some practical scripting programming, or you are more on to the books when you studied?
Yes, sir. Theory based. I have like little bit of practical knowledge, but more of I can say it out in there.
So, if you given an opportunity to become a software developer, what's your take?
Sorry, sir.
If given an opportunity to become a software developer, right? What do you think about it?
Yes, sir. It would be a great opportunity for me to enhance my skills, and I'll try to learn for more, and then I'll be like develop for the company and able to contribute my best to the company.
Okay. So, see, we have two roles. One is for software development, and the other is for technical support. So, if given an opportunity for both, what would you choose and why?
I'll choose the technical support. Like it is related to my academics, so that I would choose because I have some basic knowledge about it, so it is easy for me to improve in it.
Good. Okay. Why do we have to hire you?
Because I would think that I can be as an asset to your company because I have every skills and I have that knowledge that I could upgrade my skills every day, and I support I would like to say that I'm the kind of person who work on something until it is perfect, never stop working on something. And yes, sir, this is.
So, you never stop working?
Until it is perfect. I would wish that it would be perfect. If I do something, it had to be perfect.
What are your strengths?
I'm a dynamic person. I am a dynamic person. I can be collaborating and I have good leadership skills.
Excellent, excellent. Good to hear that. How do you want to see yourself in the next 2 years?
Yes, sir. As of now, I'm a fresher, so I want to improve in the corporate life. So I have to be in a better good position than now, and it has to give some income on. So it has to be support my expenditures. Yes.
Okay, okay. So, what's your aspiration? You want to get into management or you want to grow in technology?
I would interest in both, but I'll select technology, sir.
Technology?
Yes.
Okay. So, do you work in teams or you find working individual or a contributor?
I am interested in both, sir, but team player, I can be a better team player, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. So, you're interested in team, working in a team, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, as I said, you are interested in technical support, right? So, that means you'll be supporting more customers, right? So, how do you handle a customer who is frustrated?
First, I talk to them and I first try to please him with my behavior, and I wanted to make him cool first because as he's frustrated, he might get out of the city. So I would make him cool, and I would offer him some advantages what the product actually.
Sorry, I didn't get you. What was that?
I would like recommend the advantages first. Like what if I'm selling a product, I would say him the advantages in it, and
But he's not interested in your product. He bought it, but it is not working as it's supposed to be. He's frustrated with that.
first I let him cool down, like offering some tea or.
How would you do that?
Yes, sir. I would say him. I would like say first sorry for the frustration, and then I'll offer him some tea or everything, and then I'll try to convince him with my behavior.
But he doesn't want to talk to you. He wants to talk to your manager.
I'll work on it, sir. I'm not yet prepared.
Okay. Alright, so great. I think nice talking to you. We'll go through your profile and then see how we can take your profile forward. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Very good. Okay, great. Let me introduce myself. Okay, so what we will do is we will go through some interview process, and then when you're ready, I'll be writing something down. So don't be distracted with what I'm writing down. Okay? Is that fine with you? Great. Okay, cool. So is that okay if I call you Akshara?
Yes, that's
Okay. Okay. So Akshara, I think you'd like to know more about yourself. So tell me something about yourself.
Yes, sir. My full name is Pulagoina Akshara. I'm in third year of my graduation in BSc Data Science course, and I've secured 10 GPA in my 10th examinations and 98.6% in my intermediate. I'm a positive attitude girl. If you want to know about my skills, like I have learned Python programming language and also machine learning basics from my data science course, and I've also gained a certification in Python programming from Solon platform, and also machine learning and data science basics from Intern platform also. And when it comes to my soft skills, I have been a part of presentation on machine ethics topic in our college. So from there I have learned what is being presentation skills and also negotiation skills and so on. And if you want to know about my strengths, I am flexible to face any situation and progress in it. And my consistency and curiosity motivates me to fulfill my responsibilities. That's all.
Great, nice to hear that. I think you did along with your academics, I think you did some fantastic job in terms of learning Python, machine learning, right? Good. So you did mention something about negotiation skills. Now, what is negotiation skills?
Like settling down, if one person have an idea and we also have it, and we have to come to one agreement. So in our project, I've done a presentation on machine ethics. Few people have different idea on what to present and the things to show. So I compromise myself and compromise few team members so that we can work on one particular thing. That way I can say I have.
So why did you choose such a complex topic of presenting about negotiation skills?
That's not presenting about negotiation skills, it was about machine ethics. And through that program, I have learned how to negotiate.
Okay. So could you little bit elaborate on what's your learning in terms of negotiation?
That was the only one experience I have faced actually.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I think so you did more in terms of Python and machine learning. So what's your career aspirations? What do you want to learn? What do you want to become in the coming days?
I'm more interested in machine learning, creating machine learning models.
Okay.
And
Data scientist? Excellent. Okay. And did you understand what are the platforms which provide you data scientists as a
Yes.
job?
Like I've done some of the free courses in Coursera. StudoLearn is also a great app. It is free of access. I've done programming, coding, for solving problems in that. And StudoLearn is a platform which I use basically for Python programming. In machine learning, we have Google also. Google also is a machine learning certification. Right now, doing it.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So why do we have to hire you? What is that in you which will help in our process?
Because I believe that my excellence or else the things which I know definitely helps the company to solve problems and make new strategies.
So what is that you have which my organization or this job needs?
Like what perspective?
What are the qualities you have?
Like I'm very consistent and I'm flexible to learn anything and I'm very a quick learner, I can say.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess
Is that it?
yes.
Okay, okay. So I do see reading books as a hobby. What kind of books you read?
I didn't mention.
I see in your resume you did mention about reading books.
Yes.
Okay, what book are you reading now? Any book? Have you completed that book?
I've read Atomic Habits by James Clear.
Okay,
It was really helpful for me.
okay,
In that book, I've known how small habits can really affect
Mhm.
our life and can make.
okay, okay. And who's your favorite author?
My favorite author is Robert Kiyosaki.
Okay.
I've also read Rich
So what
Dad.
kind of books fascinate you?
I like to read books about finance actually because I want to know about it.
Okay,
And also, I read stories also.
okay. So let me ask you a question. If given an opportunity, let's say if you're shortlisted for this position,
Okay.
okay, what do you think would be the biggest weakness of yours when you're working with your peers?
I sometimes might feel less confident, but I'm doing certain practices. Like I've started recording videos for myself every day so that I can be confident.
Okay,
And also I do meditation also to cope with my emotions.
okay, excellent, excellent.
I believe that I am confident and I can do it.
Okay, how do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years. For next 2 years, I'll be learning new experiences and learning new things. And for the next 5 years, I think I will be really able to contribute to the company. Actually, it would be efficient. So I want to proceed for the positions for
What kind of a position you want to see yourself after 5 years?
Manager.
So you want to grow as a manager or in technology?
Technology.
Okay,
I want to know more about technology, but that's fine. I'm interested in managing also.
okay, okay, okay. Okay, so good. One last question before you leave. Okay, what are the roles needed to become a manager? What are the responsibilities a manager should? What are the qualities should a manager have?
Should have time management and also teamwork. Like you should be able to manage everything. And you are asking me the qualities of a manager. You should be able to maintain. Should have very good communicating skills. Should express things properly to get the work done properly on time.
Yeah. Excellent. Nice talking to you and wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Vanilla?
Yes, sir.
Alright, great Vanilla. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, sir. Thank you.
Great. You seem so excited.
Yes, sir. Of course, I am.
Why is that excitement?
Because you are our alumnus and also you are interviewing me.
I'm an interviewer now.
Okay, then I'm excited to know what I'm going to experience in this interview and what feedback I'm going to get in this interview.
Cool. Alright, so Vanilla, can you just quickly walk me through about your profile and tell me more about yourself?
Yes, sir. I'm Venala Puppala. I'm from Nizamabad. I'm currently pursuing a UG course from Giriraj Government College at Telangana University. I believe in punctuality, hard work, and discipline, sir. And I'm also an NCC cadet. Yes, sir. By that you can understand that I have some kind of leadership skills and also time management skills in me. And if given a chance, I would like to improve my skills, and I also want to learn furthermore technical languages which would improve my career scope and also which would help me to grow my career aspects. And coming to my hobbies, I like to do swimming and dancing, sir.
Nice.
I've also done stenography and typing courses in my intermediate holidays, which was very fascinating for me. Like, I always wanted to learn many things. I wanted to explore every aspect of life. Like, I would like to give it a shot before I try.
Very nice, very nice. You seem to be so positive. I get that vibe from you. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so cool. See, one thing which you really highlighted, the best part of your resume is the NCC
Yes.
training what you've gone through, right? So, how is it about? It might be tough sometimes in the training, and you've got to wake up in the morning, you've got to run, right? So, how do you feel about that? What are the learnings you got it from the NCC training you had?
Yes, sir. In my initial days, I was like, I used to talk bang behind my seniors because they used to give us punishment without no reason. But at later point of time, when I became a senior, I got to know about them. Even when I was junior, I used to think of their perspective. Like how would they annoy, like how annoyed they would be because of us and our doings. So I would think from their perspective and understand why they are giving us the punishments. And also, starting from my initial years as an NCC cadet, I also want to be in a top place. Like we have best cadet in NCC. I've always wanted to be a best cadet in NCC, but I couldn't do that because of my height.
Oh, okay. It doesn't matter because your voice is so strong.
Yes, sir, but in NCC height matters.
Okay, good. See, I think the one beautiful thing what I see in your resume is you were part-time working at VSEVA as a computer operator since 2017. So are you still working?
Yes, sir, it's actually our family business. Sir.
Right.
So,
okay. So you're still working there?
Not working, sir. I do it to help my father.
Very nice. Okay. Good. How do you want to see yourself in the next years? Where do you want to grow? How do you want to grow?
So if I join your company or not?
Good question. It's a good question to be. So let's say, for an example, I give you an opportunity to be a technical support person, right?
Sure.
What is that you will be offering in return in terms of why do you think you would be successful in this role?
So as you mentioned earlier, you are kind of getting a positive vibes from me. So if I get selected as a software developer in your company, as a job discrimination, and I would be like, I'm very much interested in team player. I want to mingle with people and I want to work with people, not isolated. I always wanted people around me.
Yeah.
I want to grow with everyone, not individually. Though I want to grow individually, I also wanted to be in a team. And in 2 years, I would like to see myself in a place where I would be leading a group of people or something like that. I'm interested in technical, but I'm also interested in management, which is like more fascinating to me. That's it.
Cool. So tell me something about, give me a time when you felt that it was so hard for you to handle that part of your life, and how did you handle that? How did you achieve that? Did you have any certain experiences in your when you're doing your graduation?
As of my graduation, I don't have any regrets, sir. But one time I felt like I'm lacking something behind was when I joined Shorthand Institute to learn stenography. When I just completed my intermediate, and you know that Yes, sir.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so how would you, so for example, let's say you're working in a team, right? So how there are different mindsets in the team, right? You'll have a manager, you'll have some 10 associates and all that. Everybody has a different mindset. So how would you adapt to the changes? For example, you move from one team to another team. How do you adapt and how do you work as a team player?
Sir, as a team player or a team leader?
Team player.
Team player. Sure, sir. First, I would like to know what is the objective of our team. Like, what is our main aspect? Like, why did we form a team? And then I would like to maintain a friendship with all my team members. I would like to get along with my team members. And if they are facing any problem which they cannot tell to our like superiors, I would like to help them out. And if I'm lagging anywhere, I would like to learn from my teammates. And that's it.
Are you flexible working 24/7? Or do you have a reservation that you don't want to work on a Sunday or you don't want to work in a night shift?
Yes, sir. I'm okay with night shift, but I don't want to work on Sundays, sir. I would like to balance my work life and personal life.
But this job role is 24/7.
If it's 24/7,
You're not
sure.
interested?
No, sir. Then I can adjust myself to those timings. I would decrease my screen time if in case, and I would spend it with my family. But I wouldn't do something to the 24/7, the work.
So I'm still confused. Are
private.
you interested or not interested?
Interested, sir.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir.
I'm surprised to see and great interview so far. Okay, the candidates are too good. All three of you very confident. Okay, very strong in terms of communication. You're trying to clearly communicate what you want to. That is the best part of it. Okay, couple of things I would like to go candidate by candidate. Okay, is that fine? Great. See. Right, I think all of you maintained the body postures very well. Everybody had an eye-to-eye contact. But in a couple of instances, people are looking, when you're confused of a question, you're worried and you're looking somewhere here and there. Right? One of the body postures, that's important, you maintain your body posture well. Okay? That is one of the feedback which I would like to give you. Alright? Best part of Kirti, I think, Kirti, you definitely have, you said something like, what's your strengths? You said never stop working, I don't want to stop working, right? You did mention more about your statistics. You guys, first of all, for Kirti, right, I think you did the quiz certification you mentioned, the soft skill training what you mentioned. You know, these are all your selling points. You need to sell these kind of points, what you do on your resume, and you did that very well, okay? Few things you have slightly interrupted me somewhere, okay? So don't interrupt when try to ensure that the interviewer finishes what he wants to ask you, and then don't interrupt here or there. Apart from that, overall, I think your voice is so cool. You know, you're very composed in terms of handling interviews. So continue with that. That's the only thing which I would like to tell you, right? So it's more about, don't get confused. I asked you something about technical support and you were slightly confused. Okay? So don't get confused. Even when you're confused, try to be as confident as possible. Maintain the eye contact. Okay? Body posture, the way you sit should be still. Don't move your hands here and there. But you did not do that, by the way. Okay? So you did well. Okay? Great job. Good job. That's more for Kirti, I think. And a few more feedbacks for Akshara, right? Akshara, great attitude. I think Python, machine learning are your selling points. Where is Akshara? Oh yeah, Python, machine learning, your selling points. One thing which should little slightly about the negotiation skills when I asked you. That's a tricky question what I asked you, because when you talk about negotiation, it's so tough, it's so complex. Right? So don't use terms which the interviewer will catch you. Right? If you're really confident, use that. Okay, use it as a selling point. But that's the one. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I think you had a lot of when you're answering me, you're pointing the finger on me. Right? You're sitting, just pointing the finger when you're talking, right? So that gives a slightly negative vibe to the interviewer. So you need to, the moment you sit, the moment you have eye contact with a very confident woman, Akshara, then you have a great attitude. Yeah, the only thing about the body posture is just need to be slightly formal. Don't use your hands a lot. Okay? Stay still. Okay, the third NCC candidate, very good. I think very confident, great attitude, lot of selling points. The great thing you mentioned in your resume about, you're working in visa, that's one of the selling point, right? You have some work experience and are working on the family. You did mention some words like tomboy, right? Don't use that as a casual something. I think it is not? Okay, that's fine. Because you're very, very open and outgoing, so keep that up. Just lower down the pace when you're talking, okay? Just lower down the pace, you will be great. Best part of it is the shorthand. See, one star method she used. I don't know how many people guessed it. I asked her a question, as in, give me a moment when it was challenging and how did you handle that? The star method, what she used, she did not think about it, but she did it at the end. Okay, what she said, shorthand, right? So that was the situation which she wanted to do, right? Shorthand, and then moving out of your house, something like that. So that's a task, which she had to face. The challenge what she had to face, and the action was taken is she has gone to the course, and the result is she's certified in stenography, right? So situational, the star method questions I did not ask you both, but the last question I asked about the star method. So use the star method, it will help you in any question you answer. Ensure everybody who is attending the interviews maintain the body postures. All three of you had a straight to straight eye contact towards the interviewer. Don't use a body postures here and there. Apart from that, great attitude, guys. I think you do have great communication skills. You'll definitely go through the interviews and you'll definitely get shortlisted. If you continue the same momentum, you will do it. For sure. Okay, thank you very much.
Informally, what do you call it? Disclose the result, all three of them have got selected. Okay. Right? Well done, and I really hope that the JPAC interview that's coming on like 1st of March, maybe 1st or 2nd, and this was just like a preparatory thing. Every one of you, please make sure what you have listened to through the resource persons and also what you have observed in the mock interviews. Make notes of them. Okay, prepare your own answers to such questions. Use the STAR method as I said, and also think about the postures, the way to communicate. Okay, so your friends have done it now. So most of you will not come here, but still now you get an idea how to do it. Right? So that brings a great confidence to all of the others 5 years that you can also do this. Right? This is not rocket science at all. Every one of you can do this and also succeed. Now this is wonderful. So at the end, I would like to very heartily thank both of our resource persons, Mr. Vikas Paul, Mrs. Anders, and also the people from Kushi Foundation. Please give a big clap for this. So, by the way, I thought he could tell you more about his first interview when he got selected in Wipro. When he was just like one of you, fresher, right? So what sort of questions they face? Now that was like, you can like 2 minutes, anything about it. And just you can stand there and when you're like a bit nervous and when your skills.
I wanted to knock the big one. Okay, so after finishing my fourth graduation, I you have the cybersecurity, right? So I used to look at all the job boards and I went for an interview there. It was cyber tower that's famous during the time, high-tech city, the 10th floor. So was so nervous, a lot of people, a lot of competitive people who were there, a lot of communication skills, very strong with them. During the time, I never had that strong calm skills. I was very nervous. But I had the zeal in my heart, zeal in my heart, right? I had so confident, I was trying to build up the confidence saying that, let me do this, let's try it, it's not impossible. So when I went there, similar kind of questions, and then there was, but you know what? When I stepped in, when I started talking about myself, then it flowed through all my experiences I had in my past. I was looking at what did I do in my college. I was picking up a small project work which I did, and not even fully completed project. But I took that project, as a key, and I started talking about the project. I'm prepared for that project, what I did. I don't remember it now, it's very long back. But that project was the key when I started talking about how did I start, how many people my friends who I worked with, what was my contribution in that project, how did I find the material online, or during the time it wasn't much online, but how did I get the material, which books I read. Okay, so I started talking about this more and more about my project, what I did in my post-graduation, not my post-graduation. Okay, and also there was, during the time we used to have group discussions, right? We used to give a topic and they say, okay, probably you watched a movie, can you explain about that movie? Or that was the question, or who's your role model, right? So many people started saying, my role model is my father. It's good to say that. I'm not saying it's not good, bad, but so I used to pick up sportsmen. I picked up a sportsman called Andre Agassi. I don't know how many people know that. He's a world tennis player. Now, how did he inspire my life? I started working. How did I watch his finals? How did I support him? What's his background? How did I figure it out? I remember I was sitting in a library here in Nizamabad, where you used to get sports star. Right? So I used to take these pictures of Agassi and then I used to read about Agassi. But when the group discussion began, people already, there should be something unique where your interviewer should find you, right? So there should be a selling point. Many people say my father, my brother, my sister, my mom, and all of a sudden somebody said Andre Agassi, who is a sportsman. You know what happens? You'll be the star in that group of 20 people, right? So you need to think, when there's a group discussion, you need to think how uniquely you can sell yourself. You need to bring a point which you need to go back and say somebody said NCC. So you should figure out, somebody said machine learning, right? So you should figure out what is that I should point out. The moment you say machine learning, that's the thing which is happening right now. The AI world, the machine learning world. So try to see how you can shine among the 100. You might be a cricket player, talk about cricket, right? You might be a musician, probably. You might be a singer, right? So think about role models. I'm talking about role models. So try to
your own music story.
Yeah.
Your own music story.
Yeah, my own music story. Like I used to play guitar, and I was a big fan of Michael Jackson. I started playing guitar, and I used to sing. Then I used to talk about these ones also, my hobby. I used to talk about my hobby. Alright? So the more you talk about your hobbies, don't think everything is great. Whatever you are expert on, try to talk about that more. Because you're confident when you're talking about it. You might be a cameraman, you're a photographer, let's say. You talk about photography as a hobby, right? Everybody has a unique skill set. Sometimes there's apart from academics. So fix that point, make it big. And people will like it. Interviewer will like it. For sure. So you should, everybody will say cricket, doesn't make sense. So you should shine amongst the whole as a fresh graduate. You have a fresh perspective, think about whatever things you want to highlight, and that will help you. And after that, my journey when I started off from Wipro, then it began. I started becoming a team lead, I became a lead analyst, then I became a manager, I became a senior manager, and now I become a director. So all of this is just because you learn through the way, right? The way you grow up your confidence. Don't let yourself down. Everybody has a strong talent. Knock the right time, knock the right door, and you will go.
The major part of that applause belongs to you. You came by somebody from a top company or from London, and you came to see only things. Now you did make it happen. Thank you. Thank you for being part of this. And I thank Shyam sir, who has been patiently with us all through the time. Of course, Principal sir for giving us this permission. Vice Principal sir, Rafiq sir, he had come and gone, but still he made it come here. Then Dhandu Swami sir, who is also a part of this from the beginning. All the teaching staff who came and went, and also who stayed back. All of you, a big thank you. And for my assistant and co-colleague Srikanth, who has arranged these things. Thank you to Srikanth. Thank you to the one who is taking the video here. Right? And everyone, those of you who are interested to attend the Khushi interview on Thursday or Friday, you can make a list of it, give it to Srikanth. If you get selected also, inform the same to Srikanth. Right? So boys, do not worry, prepare for the GenPact drive. So that's on March 1st. Okay? Please prepare your resumes. Come to us if you need somebody to check it. Please bring your resumes. Okay? Or to the teachers. Okay? Or to your peers, seniors. Show them, but make sure they are error free. Okay? So thank you very much once again. Okay. Let's make it a close.